Welcome to I Finally Get It. This week, we're happy to have Robbie Breaux of Robbie, Breaux & Team with Real Brokers. In studio with us, as always, Dustin Webb, our producer. I'm your host, Jeff Martin. Let's get it.
I've been in real estate for over 18 years, and one of the things that used to pop up quite a bit is owning your own outcomes. So if you're having good years, bad years, whatever the case may be, and anybody can look at the good, but if you're having a bad, if you own your own outcome at the end, and what I mean by that is we are all responsible for the outcome of what's going on in our business. Now, I can't control how many closings pop up, but I can control how many times I pick up the phone to be able to talk to one of my people. And if I, at the end of the day, if I look in the mirror and can I be really honest with myself of, did I do what I needed to do? You know, I could sit here and blame the interest rates or the economy or, we had festival one weekend or people are out, not shopping or whatever that happens to be, but owning the own outcome is what the big turnaround. And what I mean by that, if you're, let's say you're at a stop sign and you get rear-ended. I could have been at my appointment earlier. That's owning your own outcome.
Yeah.
If you've been divorced, it's our fault. We chose them. Right?
That's right. That's right.
So, at the end of the day, when you own that outcome and you apply everything else that runs in through the rest of your life, whether it's relationships, whether it's business, whether it's family stuff with the kids, if you own that, life just magically
it's like magic, isn't it?
So if you can't, if I'm blaming other people or other things for things that are going on in my life, look, I can't control everything, but I can control the attitude that I take towards the things that do happen.
Amen and amen. Because things will happen. You know what I mean? But I heard a phrase called internal locus of control and external locus of control. And what you're saying is things that are external to you, you can't control them, so you can't let that revolve around your life.
Boy, no doubt.
You can control what happens inside, though.
Ironically, the external focus, one of the things that and this may be a good or a bad thing to admit, but I don't watch the news.
Yeah, I had to slow down on the news too.
Ever. Because all it did was put me in it would just put me in a negative mind space.
Oh, it's horrible.
It's been over 10 years. I dive in a little bit come election season, and then I'm like, why the heck are you doing that?
Right. But aren't you happier, though?
Oh, man, for sure. I mean, but at the end of the day, what am I supposed to do? I'm going to go and change the national economy based off of what these talking heads who are paid to aggravate everybody on the planet?
Or run for something.
Right.
You know what I mean? Either run for something or just keep pushing and doing what you're doing.
Absolutely.
I'm kind of convinced that a lot of that is just clickbait or to get eyeballs on the TV. So they use the most sensational stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
But I kind of wonder if things are really changing that much or not.
Ironically, I think now people are getting a lot of their information, instead of watching it from the news, they're watching it from podcasts like what we're doing right here.
Yeah,
if you want to get the real raw, what's really going on, if you find long form podcasts that, people actually have a chance to be able to go and navigate and talk about their own experiences and the reasons behind that are going on. You don't have to cram it all into a window with a sponsor that's got an agenda for the things that they want you to be able to see.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, that
jump
is
down that window. But I mean, a lot of our national media is sponsored by Pfizer or pick a pharmaceutical.
There's no doubt about it.
As the old saying goes, you just follow the money, you figure it out.
I think what they're doing, they're trying to control their own outcomes, right?
It's true.
And so you take that back to your business. You really do, whether it's your personal life or your health or any part of your life. You have to do it. So I love that. Coming in strong right off the bat.
Well, I mean, look, I remember sitting in a conference hearing that. Have you been divorced? Guess what? It's your fault. And it's like, drop you straight on your back. And it's so true. My business is made of peaks and valleys, and you can almost always look whenever it starts dipping. The line always goes back. You inspect what you expect. And if you're not, I'm pretty regimented. I'm very consistent with the things that I do, but all of us are human. We all slip from time to time. We can all spot where the inconsistency was for the lack of sales that ends up popping in.
Yeah. So you've been in the real estate game about 18 years. What'd you do before that? And how'd you get into real estate?
I sold, from college, I was working at Circuit City. I figured out, I should have figured out a long time ago as a 4-year or 5-year-old, as you know, I would stay out till past dark selling barbecue and raffle tickets until I was out of tickets. Damn. Or I'd get in trouble with my parents looking for me in the neighborhood trying to find those tickets. But I've been in commission sales since college, so I figured that somehow, some way, you know, kind of relating back to the barbecue ticket sales, that I needed to be in there. So I did that in college, Circuit City in college, for audio, video, and computers and all that other fun stuff. And I jumped into car sales for a little while. I wasn't a really big fan of that, and then I worked for Glazers for right about a year, and then actually fumbled into real estate on accident. I had a bad injury playing soccer. The GM at the time put me on short-term disability right before a very big commission, which was about 20% of my salary for the year.
Oh no!
I lost it, and the branch was able to keep it, but that was the best several $1,000 commission I've ever lost, because it's paid me hundreds of thousands of dollars
by jumping into
real estate.
Yeah,
and
you know, that's a good way to look at it too.
I thank him every day.
That's hilarious.
I thank him every day.
So Robbie, Breaux, and team. What does the team mean?
We have a group of agents. We're 6, small but mighty, man. We pump out, and we average a sale about every 48 hours.
Oh my goodness!
Through the Acadiana market. So,
yeah. So you just team together with a couple of other real estate agents,
correct,
who fit your
Think
your
of it
world.
like a company inside of a company.
Yeah,
we attack the Acadiana market. We handle a little bit of everything, from the tiny lot to the commercial deal to the the average Joe, the average Joe seller, from entry level on up to luxury, from new builds to short sales to flips. We've got folks on our team that have a bunch of residential rentals. We have some of them that do some flips, have a portfolio of their own, and that's been a lot of fun. Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about yourself, just because we haven't known each other very long, but tell me where you come from, what you're all about.
Man, my mom and them grew up. My mom and them grew up about a mile as the crow flies on the other on the other side of the river from where you are right here.
Yep.
I went to Woodville, Alamo, Lafayette High. You stand in line, you lean in line.
Yeah, exactly. That's hilarious.
Long time Acadiana boy, just been around here my whole life. And let's see, other than that, I've been a CrossFitter for about 12 years. That's one of the things that you'll catch me doing, competitions, if I'm not banging away at the streets for trying to get somebody in or out of a house.
Yeah, exactly.
I got a 19-year-old son at LSU, and a fiance who's a mortgage broker with Whitney Bank, who's killing it. She's been a partner of mine for a long time, and she's got 2 kids, a 10 and a 12-year-old, little girl, little boy, the boy being the oldest. So
that's awesome.
A lot of fun.
Awesome. What do you think attracted you to sales? I know you've been doing it since you were selling tickets to barbecues, but why do you think you succeed at sales?
I always wanted to be responsible for the effort that I put in. And if for a salary job, I know it's kind of playing safe for some, but I always wanted to be the guy that betted on me. I wanted to be paid for what I was worth. And if I killed more, I felt like I needed to eat better.
That's right.
Real estate afforded that option because it's unlimited both ways. There is no draw. There's no minimum. There's nothing. And the average agent in town is going to do 6.5 to 7 deals a year in the Acadiana MLS. The top 10% are going to do about 90% of the sales. And the rest are going to feed off the scraps. So according to the MLS this past year, 87% of people sold fewer than 10 homes. It's challenging, this particular spot, but it's also really rewarding if you end up doing the client and the service and taking care of those guys. It's the money tends to follow.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And the other referrals and other clients and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a easy industry, to say the least, especially if 87% sell less than 10.
Well, what's interesting, Jeff, is that if you treat people the way that they want to be treated, the money follows.
The golden rule.
You've got to listen, and this is one of the things that I think everybody ends up going through from a young salesperson. You think you got to talk your way. There is no talking in, because I'm not going to talk you into buying something that you don't want.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to do that. But sometimes we need to settle the noise down from the questions that they have. Is it, am I making a mistake? Is this what's really right? Does my spouse want this? Is this good for my kids? There's a lot of extra noise, and sometimes just being able to go and, organize the chaos that's going on upstairs, and you just have to ask the questions and have them answer out loud, because once it comes out of their mouth, it helps people understand. And sometimes, some people are like, man, is that kind of?
It sounds a little like therapy. No, but
ironically, it is.
Yeah.
Is that salesy or sneaky? No, it's not, because if I don't ask you the question, you may not realize that's what you're missing.
That's right.
So if you're able to go and, if this is what you like, if this is a style that you like, if this is a school zone that you want to be in, is this the layout that makes the most sense for you and your family? All of these things that are kind of lining up. And then on my side, I can show you, look, this is what's projected from an investment side standpoint. If you were going to buy this house in this area at this point in time, where do you land inside the range, and how safe is your investment on a 2-year, 5-year, 10-year, whatever that happens to look like?
Yeah.
I'll take care of the non-emotional. My job is to be non-emotionally biased on the sale of the house, and I'll help you think about the things that you're not necessarily looking for, but I'll also help you kind of organize your brain from the emotional side of that.
Correct.
So ultimately, if we can go and check down all of those many objections that are going through their head, it makes the buying decision so much easier.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's not me telling you what to do. It's just asking you.
Yeah, you're not selling. You're showing them how to buy what they want, and by asking questions, they're realizing and doing
they're
that.
answering
That's
it
great.
for themselves.
Yeah.
I haven't sold a house to anyone.
That's a light bulb moment, right? And so, but in any sales, you take that same approach, and that will work. Right?
I can sell widgets. I could sell cars.
Exactly
I could sell
right.
investments. I could sell insurance. I could sell a case. But you just follow the checklist.
That's right.
Get through what's going on inside. Help them solve the problem for themselves. Not, most people as adults, we don't want to be told what to do, because it makes you think about, mom and dad coming back at the, hey, did you clean up your room? Well, but you eventually get into full blown defense mode, right?
That's right.
But if we start asking questions about, we start talking to the kids about why things are so important, you give them a why instead of because I said so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now there's a little bit of ownership that's attached to it.
Yeah. You said a lot about ownership, and it's true. And you help people get into home ownership. I love it. Have you ever thought about going into any other kind of sales?
Yes. I need one of those 36-hour work days, man.
Yeah. No kidding.
I get cracking at 4:00 in the morning every day. I hit the gym at 5, and then I'm on to working through my list of things to do whenever I get back from the house, having coffee at 6:15, 6:30, and just start cranking away and try to knock out more stuff than most people do during their, before they even roll over in bed.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You're obviously disciplined. You create your checklist, so you're organized, you have structure, and you go about and you do what works. So that's all you can ask, man.
In our team meetings, we layer in group accountability. Yeah. So, everybody's got we talked about before, I can't control how many closings pop up, but I can control how many times we pick up the phone. So I know from metrics that some people will have, 100 dials will equal one sale. Correct. Some of them it's 150. Some people it's 15. It just depends on how tight their sphere is. I don't have to call internet leads anymore that are just logging on to a website that are doing that on 50 different places. So my conversion cycle is going to be a lot quicker, but I'm just as responsible to project those numbers as everybody else that's on my team. And, ultimately what happens is, nobody wants to be the low man on the totem pole. So, and I hate to lose. So
yeah, exactly.
I hate to lose more than I love to win.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So what would you tell an aspiring agent? Well, you know what? Forget about that. Anybody who is in sales, what would you tell somebody who wants to go into sales and make a career out of it?
There's an old adage of God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. Yeah. And, that goes back to like talking about before. We have to hear what they're saying to be able to go and write the prescription of solving the problem that they have. And instead of waiting for your turn to talk, take the information in, because they're giving you what they want. Sometimes it's going to take multiple questions to be able to pull that out. You have to ask more. You should be speaking at least half.
Yeah.
I've
even heard
or less.
80-20. You know what I mean? You speak to ask questions and then sit back and listen.
And just gather the information.
That's right. That's right. That's great advice. That is great advice. So what's up next for Robbie, Breaux, and team?
And we are currently in the process of growing. We've got a new recruit coming, starting up this week. We got 4 or 5 more that are dancing around. Looks like we're going to be jumping up pretty soon. So we're pretty excited to be able to take that from a closing every 48 hours to one every 24. So
that's amazing.
And beyond.
Yeah. It's great. Use your metrics, brother.
That's it. It all works.
Measured, gets done. That's great. Right. If I were to ask you, how do you try to leave people when you meet them? How do you try to make them different and better just because they met Robbie, Breaux?
I think one of the things that I had heard a long time ago was, if you were to die tomorrow, what would the last person you talked to say about you had they just met you? And I always like to try to leave people better than where they found them. Be a positive reflection on what's going on in their life, because Lord knows everybody's got enough crap going on in their own personal styles. So just bring them up. Make sure everybody's having a good day, and leaving positive outlooks, and try to be able to motivate people as it goes, whether it's intentional or unintentional. Just bring out the good, man. Tracy, my fiance, talks about this a lot. She says, look for the glimmers in life.
That's a good one. Oh,
look for the glimmers, because we tend to focus on some of the things that aren't going right. But if you focus on the things that are going well in life, it could be, I just got the first spot in front of the restaurant.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a great thing.
It's a positive thing.
It's a positive thing. And it could be something as tiny as that. If you look for more of those in your life, more of them tend to show up.
Yeah, that's great.
Because the mind has a tendency to just focus just like that. I could choose to, if I got a black truck, I'm always looking for the same black truck. It's the same philosophy. If you're looking for the good things that are going on in life, more of them are going to show up. And if you're going to look for the bad things to come up, well, guess what? You wrote your own. You wrote your own prescription.
Yeah, and you're allowing. Go back to the very beginning. You're allowing things on the outside of you, external forces, to affect you negatively, and we can't have that. This is the first light bulb moment through somebody, from somebody. So shout out to Tracy. That's great. She made the show, man. That's great. Well, thanks for coming on, Rob. We enjoyed it, and a lot of great information.
My pleasure, man.
I believe it. I think you could sell anything.
Hey, I think as long as anybody is aware of the product and knows their product and how it can help somebody and not just help themselves.
Yep. Solve a problem.
I think if you can show people how you can solve a problem, show them how you can solve a problem ethically, the sales world takes care of itself no matter what it is.
Thanks again for tuning in to I Finally Get It. For more information on Robbie Breaux and what he's got going on, visit our show notes. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss an episode. Hey, if you're an entrepreneur and you'd like to help other entrepreneurs, reach out to me at jeff@ifinallygetit.com.